I don't think y'all are ready for what's about to happen in less than 100 days from today, because in less than 100 days from today is June. And in June, you already know what's gonna happen. Unsupervised FSD, come on, guys. That's massive. And we're also Cybercab. That's also another thing we're gonna be seeing. Oh man, this is gonna be such a sheesh moment, and we ain't ready. We ain't ready. All right. So before before we get this live X Live ready, the question is, are you guys ready? Because this is gonna be a very juicy live session, and I'm very excited. We usually we do it every Saturdays, but man, yesterday I was so tired. I told my partner to, like, let's just pick it on Sunday because I was just so tired. I was just exhausted. I was out. Whew, man, there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's flip and go, Jim. How you doing, my man? Hope all is well. Instant defense, bring it home. Let Zeppelin, bro. We ain't ready. You ain't ready. We're not ready for what's going to happen. Man, there's a lot of interesting things that went down this past week. The stock went down. Hey, I'm happy that the stock went down because I can buy more. The signal is much more stronger than the noise, in my opinion, and for what I'm seeing too. And what's about to happen in June and onwards, we are just not ready. We're just not ready. Everyone drained from the market drop on Friday. Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm not tired of that. I'm just here. Well, here in the Middle East, Ramadan is going to start literally in like 5 days, and in the business that I'm in, it's the peak season for us, and I'll be clocking 18-hour days, man. So during Ramadan, for at least a 10, 12 days, instead of doing videos, I'll be doing live sessions every day because I just don't have to. I won't be able to have the time to, record a video, edit the video, and post the video. Those take hours. Just letting you guys know. So, but during the first 2 weeks of Ramadan, I just won't have time for that. Instead, I'll just go live. We'll talk about the same things, but I'll be going live instead. 30-minute live sessions, maybe 1 hour live sessions at max, and call it a day every day. I'll try my best to do it every day if I'm not exhausted out of my mind. This happens every year. This happened last year to a year before. So really from March 1st, maybe not right away, but anyways, from March 1st to the 4th, the 15th, 16th, that's going to be the case. I also got CERN Basher coming on February 25th. And then later on, giving you guys a little bit of a secret, I got Herbert coming on too. Next month, though. So it's going to be a shishi flipping time. I'm just letting you guys know, just for the first 2 weeks of March, it's just going to be all live sessions because I won't have time to put in videos. It'll just be live sessions until my 18-hour days are done, which is only just 2 weeks in March, and then back to normal, back to making videos, but keep doing the videos. Thanks, man. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I see your comments on X, man, but the reason why I don't reply to you as much is because you're not verified, my man. You ain't verified. I only reply back to verified users. Sometimes I reply back to non-verified users, which is why sometimes I reply back to you. But a priority is my subscribers first, of course, and then verified, users, and then the non-verified ones. But yeah, man, get verified, dude. If you're already posting and doing all these things, you can get paid from X. It's actually just worth it. Love the content and always. Thanks, my man. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yo, Jack. Yo, Jack. Yo, Pejjy, but your name is Jack. How you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Tony from Montreal. Oh, we have a fellow Canadian here. Man, we can't wait until Trudeau's gone, dude. Can't wait. God, you ruined Canada. So do you think it will continue going down until May? Oh, man. I don't know, but I think no. Actually, I don't think it'll continue to go down until May. I think it'll go down for the next couple of weeks because there's some options things going on and all that kind of stuff. And Tom Lee came out and said that this weakness is a buying opportunity for growth stocks, right? I'm not hinting that it's Tesla, but I'm just saying, right? For growth stocks, it's a good buying opportunity, and I do agree with him. But regarding Tesla alone, I mean, Q1's going to be garbage. Let's just get out the way. But everyone knows Q1's going to be garbage. It's the earnings call that's going to matter more than earnings. And then Q2 and onwards, I think earnings is going to be spectacular. So I think in the short, very, very short term, 2, 3 weeks, maximum, until 4 weeks. I don't think we can. I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks. I know it's funny because Elon says 2 weeks, right? I think 2 weeks of time. I think it'll go down, level off, go down, level off, because there's really nothing for it to gain strength on, even when it comes to fundamentals. So I would say no, even April. I think earnings call, which is sometime in April actually for Q1, is gonna be a shot up in my opinion. Because everyone's going to be looking forward to what's going to happen in Q2. And affordable models, once those come out, oh man, Wall Street's they're gonna love it. They're gonna add it to their spreadsheet, and it's gonna go, because it's gonna be a legit thing. So yeah, just be nice. Just be nice to everyone. It will show up in the end, bro. I'm always nice. I've never blocked anybody or anything like that, so I'm always nice. January of 2023 was the time to load the boat. January 2023. Yeah, and December of 2022. Yeah, it was in December in 2022 where I dumped my whole entire savings into it. I think it went almost. It was below $120 per share. I remember that was the time. Yeah, your comment on X. I think I do reply back to it. Will. Damn, Bobby Light. So May. No, I'm thinking April. Or end of March latest, or at the earliest. Chartmasters calling for 245. Hello from. Well, how accurate is this Chartmasters? Because no one really knows this, right? The only one that I want to give credit to is Tesla Tracker, because he got it right for 150 or 140 last year in 2024, which is crazy. The king of me. Wow. These bears are all wrong about Tesla. We keep buying stock. Yeah. I mean, look. They've been wrong. They'll always be wrong. You never want to bet against innovation and companies that do take risks, calculated risks like Tesla. It just won't work out. Won't work out at the end for them. What do you think the bottom would be? I'm just buying monthly, still same day. So anything if it's 313, that's 1 trillion market cap. If the stock goes below 313, that means the stock's going to be valued less than $1 trillion. So do you think Tesla, just rationally, do you think Tesla is not worth 1 trillion? Do you think Tesla's valuation, shouldn't surpass 1 trillion? The company that they're about to literally start robotaxis in June, have cybercabs on the road by June, obviously at a small scale, right? Have affordable models, FSDs improving. You got Europe in May, FSD coming. Does that not, first of all, do you think that's not already worth $1 trillion? That's what I'm going to say. If you think yes, and it goes below 1 trillion, which is below 313, then you guys know what to do. That's all I'm saying. Dude, if it goes to 280, take my savings again, dude. Seriously. Love your content, sir. Keep up the good work. I try. Thank you, my man. Smash that like button. If you guys want to support me, you guys can join the channel member. Only $2 a month. You guys do get exclusive videos and early access to some of these cool podcasts. And it's why you're supporting me. And then soon Discord. I know I've been saying that for a long time now. But I need someone who can help me with Discord. Because I'm doing too much on myself. It's just ridiculous how much I'm doing. So, that's one way you guys can support me. So make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Venus Flytrap. Oh, this guy's back again. Moon Boys. Oh, that's fun. All right, so let's see if they're ready to start spaces. Yes. You can start now. Let's see if we can start now. Give some time for them to start and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Luke, for the sticker. £1. Thank you. Or is that euro? I think that's euro. €1, which is pretty hefty. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Biggest scam in history based on promises. is going to zero. I think you spelled zero wrong, my man. But dude, I don't even know what to tell you, my man. Biggest scam. Well, they've been all the promises that I think you're talking about Elon here, right? Um, yeah, you're talking about Elon. Everything he said has become true for Tesla. Yes, not on time, but it's become true. And if it was somebody like who didn't have the action or the evidence, because FSD we see the evidence, we see the videos, we see the products. You know, I would agree with you there. Yeah, if those wasn't there, I would agree with you there. But guess what? There's evidence. There's products. There's people actually experience it. I've experienced it, and we're heading that way. So it's really hard to say it's a scam. It's extremely hard to say it's a scam. I honestly don't think Tesla will go back to 400 by end of the year. No, my price target is 575. Don't let these emotions fool you, my man. Because when the stock keeps going higher, higher, they're talking about it's going to go hit 1,000. But then when it keeps going lower and lower, oh, it's never going to go to 400 again. Don't let these emotions come. When the stock runs, it runs. Tesla doubled in less than 40 days, from what was it, like 240 to 480. Everybody thought the stock's going to hit 1,000 by end of the month, next month. Now we have now you're thinking that it's not going to hit 400 by end of the year. Let's not get our emotions into it. That's all I'm going to say. Do you think the market will bounce back on Monday? I don't know. I don't care. I want more shares on the cheap. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay, let's see. I think we started. Let me see if we started the thing. Yes, we did. All right. I am going to join. Let me go ahead and put it on. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Where'd you go? Pound. Oh, thanks, Luke Rush. Thank you. It's pound. Okay, I was right the first time. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. Start listening. Making sure you all can hear me.
Can you give me a thumb up if you
I
hear
don't
me?
hear it. I think.
Hello, welcome.
You guys hear it? Let me know.
This week is excited week. There's a lot going on. Oh, thank you, my friend. Oh, and dude, it is mind blowing what is going on this week.
Sheesh.
Pejjy, what a week, dude.
What a sheesh week. Oh my God. I don't know where to begin. I really don't know where to begin. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week.
It is. So last night, why everybody is relaxed, I'm like freak out. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many shit. I don't know. What is make me most excited? That is like, holy shit! It's a cyber cap. I think it's coming for real this time.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, people
It's
keep saying like, is Elon timeline? We don't know. He said June, maybe it's June next year. I'm like, no, no, you don't get it, do you?
like the thing is that I was sitting yesterday and I'm just like, we're in February, and then I'm just thinking about what Franz was talking about with this cybercap thing, because he was talking about it's going to come in June, and I'm like, how many days are we away from June? And then I'm like, oh shoot, we're literally less than 100 days away from hitting June, from seeing the cybercaps on the road, which is massive. And I'm just like, bro, we're gonna be I mean, at least Austin, Texas is gonna be seeing cybercaps on the road. That's insane. That's crazy. And I shared this with my subscribers today earlier. I'm like, listen, the right now, most people, seeing is believing, right? Most people still see Tesla as a car company. They truly do. They see it as a Tesla as a car company. And the narrative will change for everyone after June. when everyone starts to see driverless Teslas. Because here's the thing: before everyone realizes, you know, um, before everyone realizes this, first of all, I need more shares. That's all I'm going to say. I need more shares before everyone realizes this, because most people only see Tesla as just only a car company, only because they see the cars, right? They don't see majority, 95% of people don't know that Teslas can drive themselves. I don't know if you guys seen those Uber videos where the guy gets in the car, they pick up passengers and the guy's like, hey, I'm just driving. The car is driving, and they're like, no way, that's ridiculous, that's, I never knew that, oh my god, I've heard about it but I never seen it, oh my god, I thought it was a scam, now it's real. And that's majority of all reactions. So imagine, after June, people will start
You
to see driverless Teslas, and on top of that, a dedicated driverless car, which is the Cybercab. That's the tipping point, in my opinion, and that's when things will change. The second half of this year is going to be insane, and I want to have as many shares as possible for it. Like, it's just, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm just like, people need to see it in order to believe it. Right now, you know, to people saying that, oh, Elon's been promising for years, every year, of cybercabs and FSD. Sure, yes, that's 100% true. But now they're actually going to be seeing a flipping vehicle with no steering wheel, no pedals. Just imagine you're just walking down, downtown or city, and you're just seeing a car without anything, nothing, just driving better than you. And it's just like, what the heck is that? And then it's like, yeah, that's Tesla. That's a driverless Tesla. And, they're increasing. And then people will go like, oh, whoa, I thought they were only just a car company, man. What the heck? It's going to be massive. And that's the realization. And I think we'll see a big bump into that stock. And that's why I had a prediction that by July, the stock's going to be at 500. That's the conclusion that I came with, and I wrote it.
that's true. So I'm live in a bubble. I live in the Bay Area. I drove before I when I pregnant with MJ. I'm just so bored. I don't go work at a restaurant anymore, and I'm stay home. I'm like biting my nails. So I drive Uber, and I have the car driving, and people come in the car. I have a white Model Y with a white seat, and they like, your car look like spaceship, and I'm like, it's drive itself, and people are like, what? And all my friend, my Thai friend, all my friend that come to visit me, they're all excited to go to San Francisco because they want to go drive in Waymo. I need to go drive in a Waymo for once. All of them like, and people in San Francisco who still there, they don't even take Uber anymore. They will get in line and wait for Waymo. Number one, there's no driver, no one's stinky. You know, no fucking creepy old dude and no stinky bullshit. No, someone smell like cigarette. None of that crap is gone. You don't have to tip them. That will be there very, very fast. And the cyber cab, the car that driving itself, it is gonna be just overnight. And the part that is like, it's make me laugh this week, is the Uber, the CEO of Uber come out and say, "Hey, Tesla won't work with us. We already talked to them." And all of us, Tesla bubble was already like, "Why would we work with you? Why would you? Why would we? Why would Tesla buy Uber? What does Uber have that Tesla don't have? If it's just an app, like, come on, it's Elon fucking Musk company. He can make an app like easy." And this
Like,
is why, like, mhm. And this is why, like, when all the smart people, when the CEO, the Travis guy, the old CEO of Uber, came out and said Elon is already take care of the whole thing. He mean it, you know. So this is, I'm gonna make fun of this guy for real quick. His name is Gary Black. You know him? I think he keep he sell Tesla, but he hold Uber. And I think in his mind he think that one day Tesla gonna have to buy Uber out, and he's gonna make a bunch of money. But dude just don't understand. I think he's a Wall Street guy. He's not the technology guy. That's why he don't get it. He's blocked me. I think I feel honored that he blocked me. I'm just like, who giving you the money? I won't.
Oh my
I don't even
God.
understand English. I won't even gonna give you my money. Like, dude, come on.
That's funny.
It is mind blowing to see all kind of noise against Elon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's funny. It's funny. Wait, Fat, do you want to for this spaces? Do you want to bring? Because I see a request. Do you want to do it an hour after, or
Yeah,
do you
let's
want to
do
do?
it. Let's do
Sure,
it.
sure,
We do
sure. I
casual.
will.
Yeah.
Sure, casual. Okay, sure. I'll text this bobblehead. Just give me a second. Let me get my thought out here on this one. Then you can go ahead. So what was I saying? Yeah, there's a lot of like here. I made a post about this saying that I just don't understand why there's this debate between Tesla and Uber. It's just I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. Why they think that Uber can even compete with Tesla in this when Tesla's going to be once mass scaled, right? And now the fact that we know that Tesla doesn't want to work with anybody, they want to do their own thing. The fact that, here's the crazy part, the fact that Tesla's going to be having cost per mile as low as 30 cents, I, this undercuts Uber. Just the economics of this is just, how can you survive? And and people are coming out and saying things like, no, man, what's it called? There'll be other autonomous vehicle in the market as well that will do this. I mean, okay, but can they do what Teslas can do? To my knowledge, there isn't any other company out there that has the capabilities like how Tesla's FSD has. I just don't see it. And majority of them are using LiDAR. And LiDAR is just not it. I'm sorry. LiDAR cannot compete with Tesla's FSD. And I've been saying this for years now. And it's becoming true. There's some awesome FSD stuff coming out from China. But again, it's LiDAR. It's geofenced. It's not scalable. And with Tesla's FSD coming, with their robotaxi, it's scalable. You will be able to rent out a cybercab from New York to San Francisco if you wanted to. You can't do that with Waymo. You can't do that with anyone else. You can't even do that with I don't know how Uber can even compete with that because it's like so much cheaper than going in an Uber. Uber can't even do that. You know what I mean? So the fact that some are saying that the fleet operators want high utilization rates and good unit economics because Uber has that. Well, what makes them think that Teslas don't have that, won't have that? So, in my opinion, if Uber and Lyft and all these other ride hauling companies don't become a unofficial subsidy of Tesla's FSD, they are toast. Finished. Done. Adios. Bye-bye. You just cannot compete. You will not compete. You shall not compete because you cannot compete. So it's like, and Tesla's made it very clear that, we're doing this. We're doing this. So that's just my thoughts on that.
I think Ba hit the nail on the head when she said that we are in a bubble. We understand that this is so obvious. This is just the writing's on the wall. But the problem is, and the only reason I see that Uber collaboration might be good is the fact that we've got to get the message outside the bubble. And with what's going on with DOGE and everything, I got a cyber type that I couldn't go to the movies. The wife and I wanted to go to the movies yesterday, but I just can't leave it parked unattended in a mall like that right now. And if Uber was given a chance, just a year contract, get these, people that just don't understand and aren't willing to open their mind to what Tesla is, and they start to see it, right? Your Tesla pulls up, Uber's getting a little piece, they ordered it through the Uber app. Now you're opening minds that are outside the bubble. That's about the only way I can justify the Uber thing.
Jamie, good point. Your name Jamie, right? I think
Yes.
so. Yeah. I think Uber will have future in different country. In another country, we still need them.
No, not
And
even other countries have their own Ubers. Like they have their own companies in Uber, so no way.
true. True. I mean the system like Uber, the ride hail sharing, not just Uber. In Thailand, we have Grab. Like those share ride system outside of America, mostly gonna be working. Like I don't think Tesla gonna go conquer the world in the short term. And Jamie, to your point, welcome everybody, speaker, listener, welcome. If you would like to speak, let's raise hand. Let's not talk over each other. That's all I ask for. I think we need to talk about this today. The DOGE, the Trump, Elon Musk. We need to talk about it because it's hot take. I got hate and side eye every time I wear make a hat. I have the white one and I have a black one, and I live in the deep blue sea. Everybody around me have a blue hair, and they have a sticker and a sign in front of their house say Harris and Wall. And I don't understand because this is such a rich country. Like my neighborhood, I live in the smallest house. Like my house is the smallest cottage. Around me is like $5 million house, $7 million house, and my house is like cottage, like tiny house. But these people, they all for the Democrat, and I don't know why. And the thing is, Elon is pulling the hardest part ever. I'm a student of political science. I spent 4 years of my life studying that shit, and I hate it. I just don't see the hope. I just don't see anyone can change everything. The corruption is like get to the core. I just like, oh, you know what? I don't even want to give my time to listen to it. But Elon, he's going in there with a chainsaw and make all of us all over the world, all over the globe, all over the earth study political science 101 in real time. He's going there and he say like government's supposed to be small. You guys supposed to work for the people, and the bureaucracy need to go, and we're gonna start from cut the shit out of it. Which is let's give the example like only half of the earth understand it, right? Only half of the earth understand it, and
My,
another half of the earth is like what the fuck is going on, right? They just question mark, and a handful of them are just crying out loud in front of Tesla shop, right? Just literally crying like, "Ugh," right? But these those dividend gonna change the whole fucking shit. Sorry, my language. I'm so into this right now. As long as Elon prove the point that Doge give out dividend, if you've been paying tax, you get $5,000 back. Check in the mails actually say, thank you, you welcome from President Trump. Doge dividend $5,000. That whole half of the earth who question mark about it gonna be like, hell yeah. So now it's gonna be 75-80% of the earth say, hey, we want that. We don't want we don't want the corruption anymore. So Elon is actually like polling this hardcore right now. I see hand Bohemian. What up,
Hey
friend?
guys, hope you're all good. Just really cool breakdown, and I'm really excited to hear your ideas on Doge. I mean, look, you're so right what you said. Like half of the people just think this is common sense. It doesn't matter which government decided to do this. Clinton wanted to do it, Obama wanted to do it, but they are globalists and they can never get it done. This government has chosen to do it. It's common sense, regardless of your political views. And it's really basically just textbook Milton Friedman. I mean, if anybody reads, Capitalism and Freedom by Friedman, it's all in there. Smaller governments, more defined rules of government, fundamental rules, less extensions of government, which are all these additional NGOs and agencies that are not able to pass laws and somehow have so much control. Cut wasteful spending. This is just like glorious stuff. I think in the short term, it really hits us as investors, but we're not short-term investors, and we know that Elon is doing this for the greater good. I think very short-term, and I'm talking a matter of months until people see the results and life gets better. It's going to be hard for people because, like you mentioned earlier, Far, with these people who are, I mean, I used to consider myself very liberal and stuff, and I still sort of am a socially liberal person, but they just went way too far. And those people are a bit deranged at this point. Any extreme fraction usually is, but they're just deranged. Turning up outside Teslas and protesting like that is insanity. And they don't want probably the greatest cutter in modern business history to go into a government and streamline all their processes after being presented with all the information, like thousands of people who are dead are getting sent checks every month on Social Security. Just tells you that these people aren't thinking logically. I mean, they have a government that has been more transparent in 2 weeks than Biden was in 4 years. They have a leader who's actually turned up to work every day. Biden literally had 50% vacation in these 4 years. Nobody knew who was running the country before. Nobody knew. Now you have a government that are fully giving you that transparency and saying the things that aren't controversial or shouldn't be controversial, but they are considered controversial. Like a secure border of any country is fine to say that. It doesn't mean you hate anyone. It doesn't mean you don't want immigration. It just means we need to know who's coming into our country. I mean, these aren't radical things to say, but that fraction that are standing outside of Tesla shops, it's kind of crazy, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, but
Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pejjy, go ahead.
No, I just want to say that, what Bohemian, you said, that people standing in front of Tesla showrooms and doing all those things. I mean, that just wants you to buy more Tesla stock. I don't know. I love it. But yes, Texas bubblehead, go ahead.
Well, it might be, well, I don't know if I can give context to this, but my daughter works for the government and on an Air Force base, and she reached out to me about 30 minutes before the meeting started, and she sent me a screenshot of, Elon's tweet about there's an email coming out. We're going to ask you for 5 bullet points about what you did. And then she shows me a screenshot of the email her command sent, or actually she sends the screenshot of the email that did come out that said, please reply back with the 5 things you did this week. And she immediately tells me that her command has told everyone not to reply. And initially I misunderstood what she was telling me, and I kind of got on the soapbox and like, well, that's a direct order from the President of the United States. There's representatives that don't know that that's the right answer and might want to consider being a whistleblower. And she's like, well, let me give you the full context. And the full context was the commander said, hold on replying. They want to verify that the email is legitimate. And I have to admit, when I first saw the email, I thought, well, how do they know that this is legitimate? Because you certainly don't want to disclose to any foreign adversary or anyone what you're doing, right? You're a government employee. So yeah, it's Elon, they're going about this really, really fast. And I explained to her, I said, they could slow down and have a committee and do it the traditional way, but the crooks know how to skirt the traditional way. It'll give them time to hide things. He had to come up with a way to do this fast, transparent, public, and you're going to feel horrible. And maybe you do lose your job, but I think you'll get your job back because I'm seeing a lot of people getting rehired once they figure out which managers and which branches are just being corrupt.
Pejjy?
That's pretty interesting. It's crazy how fast this thing is going across the board. And you know what? As a Canadian looking down south, I'm just like, man, you guys are like breaking out from this cage. You know what I mean? And I'm just up here You know, well, I'm not even in Canada. I work abroad because you just can't work in Canada. But you know, I'm just sitting here as a Canadian. I'm just like, man, we're just caged up here, and you know, we can't even have a, you know, we don't even have a, you know, freedom of speech because everything's just censored up here in Canada. So it's like I'm seeing all this breakthroughs going across, and I'm seeing what's going on with like the sellout prime minister that we have at the moment. Because apparently, according to Marco Rubio, he got the idea of the 51st state because of Trudeau. He's the worst prime minister of all time. I don't know. I just, but no, that's the question. Is the Doge dividend a real thing? Because I would assume that they would, any money that they save, they would just pay off the debt, not pay.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
that's
hear me out. I think it's Trump and Elon put their head together and they say like, yo, we have to flip it red. We need to, the Democrat, the old core Democrat need to be just like the deep state. That's what they call. Need to be just get ripped apart. And how do we gonna do that? Oh, we need to get everybody to vote Republican. And how do we gonna do that? How about we give their money back? Because we're gonna keep cutting more. This is just a tip of the iceberg. And how do we gonna prove this whole concept is real? Just give them their money back. They've been ripped off for years, at least 20 years, right? This is me just guessing. Like if I get to sit there with Trump and Elon, I'd be like, please do it. Because this is, you're not buying vote. The far left stealing the money, we got it. We have planned to pay down the debt. But how about give them some money to helping them right now? They cannot buy bacon. They cannot buy egg. They cannot buy apple. Just do it. And now when you do it, all of them that get a check back, even in the kind of don't understand it, follow the news. I'm a Democrat because I'm a Democrat and I'm a Democrat. They're gonna be like, oh, thank you, Doge. You awesome. 5 fucking grand. I gonna pay for my kid, pay for school, pay for medical bill, pay for my credit card. Some of that. I see 2 hands right now, Bohemian and King and Brandon. I see 3 hands. I gonna talk this quick about Tesla stock price real quick. This moment right now is, you got it, Pejjy. This is a double down. This is like, I have 1,000, I gonna put in 10,000 right now. I'm not even joking. Usually I tell people like, hey, don't listen to me, go think for yourself, but this time listen to me. When it spike next time, when the stock rocket next time, it's gonna be huge. Because we're gonna have a bunch of income coming. The semi, they're pumping it up, and they have the semi. It's not what is called mega chart. They started to do that right now, that on the LA highway. So semi gonna be able to charge outside of the faculty, like Chick-fil-A faculty, the PepsiCo. They have the mega chart there, but they're gonna be able to charge outside right now, and that thing gonna sell. The Model Y line in a factory, they upgraded to the new Model Y. They're gonna start pump out that car out. And trust me, if the old Model Y is a what is called super the best selling car, this one gonna be best selling car. It's gonna be triple that for sure. And right now, since Elon is a first buddy with Trump, and Trump have so much trust in him that he can take the meeting with a world leader like India, and now we're selling Tesla in India. I think they'd be easy to sell 1 million easy in India if they be able to make it. It's not like no demand. It's like, do we have enough battery? So add all these things together, include Cybercab, income, include we're see the bot ramp up. Holy shit, Pejjy, you talk to Joseph about this, and I'm like, holy shit. I keep like, holy shit, I don't have enough shares. Right. All right. Bohemian, what up, friend?
Hey, yeah, I agree with you, Far. I think with periods like this, with Tesla or any stock, to be honest, when they swing violently one way and then they go the other, is just to go back and look at the fundamentals. I mean, it is a wild ride when you invest in Tesla. I've been in it for over 2 years and I've seen 100, which is pretty much where I started buying, and I've seen 480, and we're somewhere in the middle. But forgetting the swings, for me, whenever I see them, and I get a little nervous, because, most Tesla investors are all-in investors. They're not your general sort of spread betters. 2 to 3% gains a month would be glorious, 15 to 20 over a year. We're looking for generational companies, once in a lifetime businesses that have multiple streams of revenue, huge TAMs, and are doing things in the tech space that nobody's ever seen before. So we're trying to knock the ball out of the park as investors in Tesla, and we're all very interested in that space. But the thing is, like Far just said, the key is just to go back to look. I always go back and just look at the fundamentals, and I go, okay, energy business, they can't make enough batteries. It's going to 3x within the next 2 years. It's going to 2x this year. None of the factories on it. Their cars are the best product in their field, much like an Apple iPhone is the best product in its field, by a landslide. Right? We know that. And you just break it down and you go, they've got 4, 5, 6. They own all the petrol stations or the equivalent in EV spaces. Now that the Biden administration's gone, that's going to be a much easier process. Regulation, big concern for me. Like the Biden administration really didn't like Elon. He wouldn't play ball. Well, that's all going to go away. That concern, there will not be an obstacle there, right? And they'll get it done in the next 4 years. So it just becomes a commonplace thing. And once the revenue streams are seen from the development in autonomous driving and FSD and robotaxi and all that stuff, nobody's going to want to shut it down, because America is the most capitalist-driven, consumer-driven country in the world ×2. So for me, I just look at all of that every time I get a little nervous. Not nervous about the company, but nervous about the perception of the brand, I guess, is the one concern that we're going to just all have to ride out as investors, and there's no way around it. Like what Elon's doing for humanity, I think most people who are logically minded would want in their country. Every country could do with an Elon Musk in that sense. He doesn't need to be doing this. We get it. But he's going to revolutionize the government if they let him do his job in 2 years. It's going to change the culture. Not a huge fan of the 5K dividends because it will spike the Jesus out of inflation down the line. I think it should be used to pay down debt. But I understand why they're talking like that, because it's winning hearts and minds. And maybe they will do it as a one-off or whatever. But like I get the reasoning behind it. I understand they want, but that's the only thing that we have to navigate. But that won't stay in a 24/7 media cycle. Elon, obviously we all think he's a bit of a hero, but we also have to be honest and say, he could tone it down a little bit. I mean, turning up on stage with a chainsaw, I love it, but the perception of it. But then I think, well, no, he's not doing anything. He's not being a bad guy. He's having fun with this. And at the end of the day, like you mentioned earlier, Far, there are these hyper deluded, insane people. It's like drawing Nazi signs on people's cars and vandalizing them and doing all these crazy things. And it's just like, screw them. Like, this is insanity. You don't get to go out there and insult other people for their choices or for enjoying what somebody's doing when they're not doing anything to harm anyone else. Like, you just don't get to do that. And, those types of people, you just can't have a conversation with, and that will go away. People are tired of that. They're exhausted of it. And we see all these mini protests and stuff now, but think how big they were 4 years ago. Not 4, 8 years ago when Trump won. It was like tens of thousands of people. Nobody's turning up for this stuff anymore. It's a very small group. Their anger's towards Elon at the minute. It will shift towards something else in 6 months. Once DOGE is undeniable. So that's the only thing I worry about. And that is negatively impacting the stock. It just is. Because we're going to have a transition of diehard energy EV lovers who were the first sort of cohort to adopt Tesla. He took a lot of the blue states in America. That's where he built his business. They're getting off the ship right now. So And a lot of people who are just like a bit scared to be associated with the brand because I don't know why. They maybe live in an area where it's very blue state. I'm talking about America primarily. They're getting off the bandwagon. But guess who's going to, for now, but their product is undeniable. And guess who's going to get on the bandwagon? All the other people that weren't on it before. A bunch of Republicans, a bunch of common sense thinkers, a bunch of people who don't think that EVs are going to, there's just so much to be looking forward to. But I do think the next 6 months is just going to be great buying opportunities for people who really believe in the company in 2 years. I think we're less than 2 years away from never going below 500 a stock again. And potentially the upside is just like, I sound like a weirdo, like crazy person when I talk about it, because the upside is kind of boundless.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely flipping insane. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the stock falling down because something that has nothing to do with the company. I'll just buy more stock. And if you've been invested in the stock since, let's say, 2021 till now, you're pretty much numb to it. You're numb to this downtrend, because if you survived 400 to 100, that's scary, by the way, huh? Like, most people to realize that, oh my God, 80% of my whole net worth, paper money, is just wiped out, within a year. That's unheard of. And it's a mega cap stock, like, if you went through that storm, you'll get through all the storms. I mean, like, Tesla stock is only down like 30% from all-time high. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's like, man, give me more. Go lower so I can buy more, because after June, I think things are going to change big time, massively. King Twits, I know you had your hand up for some time, and then Brendan, you had it too. So let's what you got, my man?
Hey, so first and foremost, thanks for holding the spaces and allowing the public up here to be able to chat. So I've got a ton of different thoughts on all this. Fa, Pejjy, everybody up here, you guys have been really nailing it home. I just want to touch back on this whole beginning topic of the robo-taxi network and the comments made recently about the CEO of Uber. It's kind of bonkers, but at the same time, it's almost like them throwing up the white flag, in my opinion. I mean, we're looking at a situation here where we're not looking at an art industry. We're not looking at an industry where we want humans to really interact with us. We want the opportunity to get into a vehicle that's a complete lounge, that we can work, we can play video games, we could sleep, we could watch movies, we could play with our kids, we could do anything, really. And that's what we're looking forward to here. And that's going to transform that entire industry. And for anybody that thinks that they'd rather be in the car with a person, I get that there might be a very small, minute amount of people that want to have a conversation, but there's going to be an opportunity for you to have a conversation with Grok that's going to feel like literally you're talking with anybody in any profession, in any capacity. And you're going to be able to move forward with so much more knowledge when you get out of them, if you so choose, the same way that we currently listen to podcasts to learn so much about the world. So I just think that if you see this any other way, I don't even understand how you could see this any other way. Like, it's obvious that the COGS have been dropping, that we've got a better option out here in regards to the way that we're choosing to outfit the vehicles with cameras. We don't need the more expensive LiDAR. It's not necessary. We've got the people out there like Gary Black talking about how, oh, look at this competition. Where's the competition? No one has this data. No one has this data. And I'm very interested to see what China's coming up with. And we've got these different kind of little pieces coming out, but we don't have enough information on them. I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more here and there, but I don't think anybody's still going to compare with the amount of data with 7, 8, 9 million vehicles out on the road that are all collecting data for full self-driving purposes. So it's just like right here, right now, that's like, how are we looking at any other way to think that Tesla's not in the lead in that particular capacity, right? And I think that that's going to make Tesla a well over $500 stock this year alone. Now, when we start to think about the Cybercabs rolling out in June, we're going to start to see people drop their jaws when they get inside these vehicles and realize all the things that they can do and how they're not geofenced like Waymo. They're very similar. And Fa was talking about how people will wait for the actual Waymos, but when they start to see the capacity that Tesla's going to be able to push out, it's going to be game over. And that's just the way I see it. Moving forward from that, though, we've got the Optimus robots. I mean, we're going to start seeing more and more videos of those doing different types of work within the factories this year, that's going to explode the stock again. I think that within a year we could be at $1,000 market. You know, like we could see 1,000. Now, of course, we'll see the volatility. We've got the politics going on. That's not going to change. We're going to be all over the map. But the fact of the matter is Tesla is leading in so many different capacities in the AI industrial revolution that we're currently starting to go through. If you're seeing this any other way, and if you have some other companies you'd like us to check out, please recommend them. But I can't foresee that they're not going to take at least 10% of the share of an industry that's going to walk into at some point, you know, maybe we're talking maybe more than a decade, maybe more than 2 decades out, but we're talking about an industry that's going to see numbers that don't make any sense to us currently. We're talking quadrillion level market caps on industries. And these are my opinions, of course, and you know, dispute all you want, but I just see us being in a world where we're sending spaceships off with Optimus robots that are mining, just, you know, for resources and setting up new opportunities for humans to move to different. I mean, Tesla's literally going to be integrated with every single one of the companies that Elon Musk is at the helm of. And if you don't see that, you're not paying attention. And think about how that's going to continuously open up additional market cap, additional TAM. Like we're gonna see nonstop growth, and that's why we're all in on Tesla, because we don't see any other industries being innovated like this. I should stop. I've gone a little far, but I really appreciate the opportunity to speak, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, friend. I can call you friend. I think so. Um, so this is what happened. My husband used to be Tesla bear. He's bear. He's super bear. He's got so pissed at me for like a year that I paid for my motorbike like close to 80,000, and then so 8 months later it's go to 40,000. He's like really pissed at me, and I'm like, I cannot read Elon mind. I don't know when he gonna give this car. I want a fucking car, so I go buy a fucking car. I'm sorry, but all that aside, he's because he see what Elon do and how much hate Elon get. He's just like, we need to diversify. We need to fucking diversify. Just keep saying that, yelling that, like just keep coming at me, and I'm like, dude, Tesla is diversify. And he's like, no, you don't get it, do you? Long we fighting about this a lot, but I think if someone looking to invest in something else or diversify a little bit, Nvidia maybe. I've been looking at Nvidia since it's 420 before split, and it's went up to 1,000 and it's split and it's still keeping going up. And I still don't have a heart to buy it because I just want to buy Tesla. You guys know me, right? I have 10 grand where I'm gonna put it Tesla. I have 2 grand where I'm gonna put it Tesla, right? And the other day when they present Grok 3, and I think I didn't look, I just listened to them. And I think one of the engineers say they put 6 billion in the Colossus, or the where is the data is, the Colossus cluster, whatever that thing is. And then they say from 6 billion it's gonna go to 100 billion, that money that they're gonna put in. And my mind jumping to Nvidia, like, and I'm not gonna talk of you out to diversify your stock. I think if you are in Tesla stock, you're very good. But if you're in a household that your partner, your wife start yelling at you, maybe you a little bit thinking.
Well,
So we sell our Adobe stock. We have a bunch of our Adobe stock, and I just figured out that Adobe is DI at fuck. They actually loud and proud that their company is DI, and the stock just tank, and the CEO just keep raising their salary. That's all I have to know, and we sell the stock. I put big chunk of it, 80% in Tesla, and I buy 20 grand of Nvidia. Disclosure. You don't copy me, you think for yourself, but if you have to diversify, Nvidia is not a bad place. Send I went on the space the other day with Omar, And I keep asking Omar like, hey, if they're gonna buy another 94 billion in CPU, where they buying? And Omar say, well, Tesla have their own computer that they're making, the Dojo, but they're still building it. In Austin, in Texas, they're still building it. They're still building it. But right now, if they need it, they need to buy it from NVIDIA. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, that's well. If you want to talk about diversification, I used to be diversified before going all in with Tesla stock, and I'll be honest. When I was diversified, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. In fact, I was diversified to dividend stocks. I was making like what, a grand a month, 1,500 a month, whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, at the principal, at the end, I was only gaining maybe 7%, 8% a year, which is nothing, which is not life changing at all. With with not much money I had back then, like prior to 2020. So then I needed to put my money somewhere that can grow massively, and only to do that, you got to put it in places where, in places where companies, or one place at least, in stocks and in companies that they're gonna grow massively in the years to come. So that's where I invested in Tesla in early 2020, right after the COVID crash, and that was a good time to catch it too. That was awesome. But today, if you want to diversify to another company, one company that I strongly recommend is HIMS. I have like what 0.2% of my whole entire portfolio in HIMS, like 98, yeah, 99.8%. Sorry, 98.2%. No, yeah, 99.2% is Tesla, or 99.8% is Tesla. The rest of it is all HIMS, because it's just a very small fraction. But I bought that thing at I bought that thing at $19 per share, because the numbers were just incredible. And I haven't done a deep dive on it on YouTube or anything like that, because I've just been focused on Tesla. Maybe I'll do about HIMS, but the numbers are promising on this thing. It's absolutely promising. But I mean, Tesla's already diversified enough, and there's so many businesses within the business that they can easily 10x the company, like FSD robotaxi. Once that thing is scaled up, I personally see Tesla being worth up a little bit, a little bit north of 10 trillion, just the full self-driving FSD alone, just that alone. Energy, when it's fully fully ramped up and hit maturity, I think 3 to 4 trillion valuation is I think a good, fair. And then the bot, I just don't have no idea. I think that's probably another 10 to 20 trillion. I don't even know. That's just mind-boggling, which ironically leads to around 30 trillion market cap. But then, as we know, how Tesla once they hit those numbers, once they hit those maturity levels, they're going to continue growing every year, because it builds off of each other. So I don't know how high this thing can go. I don't know what valuation can go, but all I know is that once you tap into the labor market and you try to increase labor and global GDP, oh my God, you are tapping into something massive. And if you do it right, and if you actually replace jobs with robots, and it's beneficial to everybody, my God, you have tapped into something that's just trillions upon of tens and trillions, something that's never been done before, which is just mind-boggling, which is why I just keep it simple, which is just robotaxi and FSD and energy. But meaning the FSD and robotaxi, I can see it being 10 trillion or north of $3,000 per share, once that thing is scaled up into the millions. And the more market that opens up in Europe and China, the more that. What's up, dude?
Elon will be the first trillionaire.
Yeah, 100%. No doubt about that.
It's coming quick.
Yeah, no
Coming
doubt.
quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Texas Bubblehead, you have your hand up, and then afterwards, I think Brendan, if you want to go ahead after that, and then we have King Twit if you want to do after that. So let's go in that order. So yes, Texas or Jimmy.
Well, I don't know how popular this is, but I think I'm all in on Tesla, but I'm really curious about Planter. Do you guys have any thoughts on Planter as a diversified stock to look into?
What stock is this?
Planter, it's a Thiel's company. They have some contracts with Tesla. I think they're doing more the analytics side.
What's that? What's the
Um,
ticker symbol?
Let me see. It's a PLTR.
Oh, Palantir.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, Palantir, I think that they have a very good future. I think Alex Karp and Elon Musk, them leaders are going to do incredible, especially now with Trump. Yes, maybe defend spending may be cut. Sure, that may affect it, Palantir a little bit, but at the end of the day, we are defense and warfare, all that kind of stuff. They are shifting to AI, and the number one player here is Palantir. Um, and as the world gets more chaotic, Palantir. Well, I mean, with Trump, I don't think the world will get chaotic. I think it'll get a little bit more peaceful. Not too sure about the 4 years after that, but Palantir is, you know, they're crushing it right now. Their numbers are good. I mean, Q4 in terms of numbers, yes, they beat it. They did well, but it wasn't as high as I would thought. I mean, right now it's over 500 PE, $230 billion worth. That's insane. Like that for I never thought Palantir would be this high, but I know in the future they will do very well. I think in the future they can be $1 trillion company, but I'm not too sure when they will do it. I regret selling it
Let
at $30, $40. That's for sure. Because I did buy it at 10 and then I sold it at 30 only to buy more Tesla. It was a swing trade. It wasn't something that I wanted to hold long term. But I think Palantir is a good long term hold, but I think HIMS is a better one in my opinion because it's just too early. They're
okay.
only at like what 15 billion. So yeah, yeah. Go
I
ahead, Fa.
have number. I have number for Jamie. This is like I have Roth IRA hiding somewhere, and I bought Tesla and Palantir. This is November 2021. I have a number for you. I'm a number person right now. So I have Palantir bought the same day, 21st November 2021. My Palantir up 380%, and my Tesla down 10%. Just just throwing out a number.
Sheesh.
And I have no idea what Palantir does. Back then I was hosting the Thai dinner. It's a fundraiser for Palantir. So I serve the food, and people hire me and my friend to serve food, and this guy is talking. He's the only guy who talking, and the whole room is quiet. Everybody just want to hear from him. So I came home and I put some money there and just like, okay, send everybody in Berkeley seem to think that he's super important. That's all I know about it. Not recommend this way to anyone. You should study company before you put your money.
Sheesh. Yeah. Brendan, I know you had your hand up earlier. You got anything to
Hey,
say? Yeah.
yeah. So, first, just to say about Palantir, I'm also like invested heavily into it, but nowhere near as much as Tesla. I just feel like, Palantir, I feel like they don't have a lot of competition on what they're trying to do, and they're actually implementing AI. So just quickly, from what I understand, and this could be like relatively like this is just like trying to zoom out. They basically like deploy a system that like works on top of like, and this is just one of the products that they have, is that they basically have this AI system that they put on top of whatever system that you have that runs your business, and it like finds like efficiencies, or it finds ways to make it more efficient. And they just started like going to different industries, like securing contracts, and then there's the whole government side, which is a whole nother thing, so. But as I said, like I really do like that company. But anyway, to get back on track to Tesla, I first wanted to say about how like there's just a lot of resistance from the left, from people who are like very liberal. A lot of my circle is very liberal, and it's like hard for me to like really like express myself because
Mm.
they kind of just feel like I just have sipped the Kool-Aid of Elon, and that's why I'm just like stuck, like and but for me it's just like I just wish that more people could have the conversation because the way I look at it, like I don't really look at myself as a Republican. Like I think that that's like crazy for me to say as a 22-year-old, but I consider myself relatively in the middle. I feel like I've been that way for a while, and like the point that I'm just trying to make is that I just wish that people would be open to having conversations, because I feel like Elon being in charge of all this cutting, like if we're cutting down the forest, I think that everyone from both sides, the left, right, and the middle, I guess, should like have a voice to rebuild back the forest, if that's a good example, and I just feel like the people on the left are just so butthurt, like they're so like upset that they can't even like realize the opportunity that, hey, like, yeah, a lot of things are getting cut right now, but like this is a great opportunity for for our voices to be heard, and like to like institute the right changes. And yeah, we're just small people, but I just feel like that's the right way for humanity to like go forth with all of this, because this is going to happen regardless whether we like it or not. So yeah, that was just the first thing that I wanted to say about that.
Well, just what comment on that is that, well, they're pissed off because they're woke. Like, that's the, like, it's sad to say, but I mean, it's common sense. Like like it's common sense. Like when common sense when common sense starts to offend people, that is the biggest hint that they're woke. They're not. They're they're just, I don't know what's the right word to say here. Maybe I think corrupt could be the right word, but they're just. I mean, woke is the best word I can think of here, because it's
Delusional.
common sense. Like it's common sense. Like, why are we spending millions in Africa to show people how to take a shit on the beach? That's what Canada's doing, by the way, and I'm not following of that. And it's like, why? Like, cut that crap out. We don't want that. Well, and the US is doing that. They're looking at all these weird things that they're like funding that makes no sense and makes no value to them or to anybody. And they're just cutting that out. And those who are getting pissed are the ones who are pocketing it. Of course, they're getting their money, they're getting their income slashed away. Of course, they're going to be pissed. So, yeah, that's the comment I had to say.
Yeah, and yeah, and I just feel like there just needs to be a way forward, and maybe I'm just
Seriously.
like an optimist, but like I just feel like there has to be a way forward, especially for like younger people. I feel like I don't know, like like it's just there in front of my face, and maybe I'm just ignorant, like, and just living in my small little circle or like my little bubble. But like there has to be a way forward that like everyone uh can like be happy. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was the dividend check. So
Mhm.
now for me, I forgot who said it. I believe it was Bohemia, I believe. But basically what he said, and Fa also said this too, that like, yeah, maybe we should pay down the debt, but I think like having a one-time dividend check, like to sweeten the deal for especially people in the middle, and also for people on the right. I feel like if you have a family and like you're not able to like afford the eggs, you're not able to afford whatever things because of inflation or whatever it may be, getting that one-time check of $5,000 could probably sweeten the deal and like actually like let people want this change to happen. And yeah, I think if we zoom out and like we think on like the term of like a 2 to 5 year, like it may not be good for inflation or like whatever. Like I'm not an economist. However, I think that sweetening the deal might be the best course of action now, just so that it's easier going forward. However, I think that the end goal is going to happen regardless of whether we get a $5,000 check or not. I just think that there'll be more like there'll be less of the protests and there'll be more of like common sense, or like people will actually wake, or I get it, they'll wake up from their woke mindset, if that makes sense. You know, I feel like that would just like help a lot. And like the God honest truth is that $5,000 can go such a long way for a lot of families. For people like you and me, we would probably just buy more Tesla stock, but you know, but there is that. And the next thing, and the last thing I wanted to say, I know this is a lot, sorry, was about the bots. For me, like I forgot who said it, but I believe it was Mr. King Twit, I believe, about how like this is like about generational wealth and that type of stuff. I think that it's crazy that literally 3 years ago, I believe it was 3 years ago during Autonomy Day. I think it was 2022. It might have been 2021. But anyway, there was a man like dressed up in a suit walking across the stage, and like I feel like if you look at the time frame, that if in a span of let's say 3 to 4 years, they're able to like produce this robot that's walking around the factory, that is like being tested and doing all these things, and they're doing it in a way that's for generalized solved autonomy or generalized robotics, is like a whole different game than everyone else, like Figure and the one that does the flips and the one that just like like all the foolishness. Like these people are just like making a robot for this one use case that may like help this one use case, but it's not going to be able to like do anything else, when Tesla is out here saying, hey, this is your dog walker, this is your teacher, this is your I don't know, delivery person, like literally like a construction worker. Literally just download this. It probably needs to update. It's going to take uh 20 minutes to switch it from like a teacher to a construction worker, and all these things I just feel like are just being ignored by everyone, and it just goes to show that Tesla is the most diversified play like out there. And I feel like, and I shouldn't say this, but I feel like it needs to be financial advice to buy Tesla at these prices. But anyway, I'm not trying to get you in trouble, Pejjy. Like, that's not financial advice, but you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, thank you so much, and that's all.
That's hilarious. Let's go. That's nice. King Twit. And then we can go to, I think Bohemian has his hand up as well, so we can go to you after.
Hey, so yeah, I'll keep it a lot shorter this time around. I was kind of going through the YouTube comments, and I was seeing that there were some posts kind of centered around, well, look at Boston Dynamics. And honestly, this is really just playing off of a little brand that we just had up here. But the fact of the matter is Tesla has been working towards COGS reductions, cost of goods sold reductions nonstop, and they've been specializing in this. And people are looking at this like, oh, look at what Boston Dynamics can do. It's like, well, how many of these robots are they able to make, and also how much do they cost, right? Tesla's concentrating on a mass production, and we're looking at the robots making the robots making the robots making the robots to eventually be at a 10 million plus run rate per year of robots. I mean, if you're not thinking about that's the ultimate goal, and you're seeing these other companies and maybe they're not necessarily innovating that quickly in those spaces, and when you've heard so many Tesla engineers and people that are engineers just studying Tesla, seeing the level of innovation within Tesla, you're not recognizing that COGS reductions is one of their number one goals here. So should really kind of be thinking about what company is able to make this generalized autonomy robot that's going to be able to be updated nonstop, just like your cars are currently if you own a Tesla vehicle. And it's going to offer up so many different levels of convenience, so many different levels of just kind of a move forward, essentially, in all these different industries. Yeah, we're probably going to have a hell In the next 8 years, I think, as I said, we've already started the AI industrial revolution. We've already seen a lot of displacement. We're going to see a lot more. This is why I have on my profile, are you invested and ready? But there's a lot of people that don't have capacity to do so, and that takes you into that $5,000 kind of comment about Doge. Look, I love the concept of taking some emotion out of all these people that are struggling right now, that didn't have capacity to start investing, that have not had the opportunity. And I love the idea that we could try to stick up for them and find a way to help them out. But I want to be a realistic person here. The $5,000 Doge check kind of situation, or whatever the amount may be, that's going to be pushed down the road. They want to see immediate results, as fast as possible. When we're wasting 100 billion or ridiculous loads of money, per day, per 100 days and whatnot, we want to see our waste spending get cut back substantially in the government. And I think that they're going to concentrate on that solely, push out some of those numbers after a year. And if they can get another program up and running, I think then they might be a little bit more open to cutting some checks. But, when you're struggling and you don't have the capacity, you are looking at a situation where emotion really is playing into your thought process, and politics and negative views without actually getting all the information will sway people from one side to the other. So I'm gonna kind of bow out and I'll go back to a listener status, but it's been an honor. Thank you, guys.
Sheesh. Indeed. Oh man, it's a lot to look forward to. Bohemi, and then we can go to where did Bob go? I thought Bob was here, and then if he comes back, he comes back. Bohemian, what? I see you got your hand up.
Yeah. I mean, I just agree with a lot of people say that $5,000 check. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it's a good idea. I think a lot of the problems of the last administration were giving the money away. And I know this is money saved, but this money in the government department that's being saved should be repurposed to pay down the debt. That's the whole point of streamlining the operations, is that America's going bankrupt. And that is a disaster globally if that happens for everybody. The West is screwed. So yeah, I mean, on that point, I think, it's a nice idea, rallies the troops and stuff, but I think if people just get educated about how much waste is actually found in government departments, they'd be amazed, and that would be more than enough, But in terms of the cogs that somebody mentioned about Tesla, and just like how they're so friggin' good at reducing price, and we've got to remember, in the last of the last 4 years, a number of those years have been really expensive for manufacturing. The supply chains have all been disrupted. COVID, 2 wars, lithium sanctions, all of this has had a terrible impact. Shipping costs, all these things have had a terrible impact on businesses that require a lot of materials being shipped, right? And I know that Tesla is massively vertically integrated, so they're not leasing out a company to build their tires like Ford are, and another one to build their whatevers. Ford have hundreds of different partners that help them build a car. Tesla don't, right? We know that part, but they're still needed until they start developing their own lithium refinery and things like that. They're still needed to, get materials in. And the fact that they've even been able to sort of hold the line on their operating margins, as lithium was like peaking a few years ago, and now that has just collapsed like that. Lithium is going to be like cheapest chips soon enough. But that for me is just such an underrated thing with Tesla, is that when times get hard, they get even more efficient. Now, think about when they've like developed a bot that they can charge for 20 grand, and their margins on it are huge because everything's been built in-house, right? Built, produced, shipped in-house, and they've already got all the data, the proprietary data they need for it. They've got the best engineers in the world who've been working on this thing for ages. It's interesting to see recently that a lot of bot people have been coming to the front, right? We're seeing a lot more stuff about bots, and NVIDIA are like showcasing a bunch of bot partners. And I can't remember the name of the company, but I know Amit Investing's invested in one of them, Futures or something, I think they're called. Boston are great. DeepMind do some stuff in bots. So there's a lot of that coming to the front. Tesla have been quiet as a mouse, really. They do these little showcases at events and stuff, but they're not really releasing too many videos for the bots. But then when they do, you see these massive leaps. like it's climbing hills and standing up when it's falling over, and that's not being controlled. So the bots thing, I think, with them is just they don't want to promote bots too much now anyway, because they've got this other monster about to come to the fore. So I think it's partly that is Elon is kind of a bit of a genius at that, about the reveal and when he reveals things. And the thing I'm seeing now is just with their technology in general, is the leaps forward are just so profoundly better. Like what I read about FSD, what I see people show on videos and stuff, we've all been watching these videos for years. It's profoundly better every single time. And it's 10x improvements and things like that. So I think car sales are going to be tricky during this transitional phase of people sort of like hating Elon, then loving Elon and all this other stuff, right? That's just the general public. That's a lot of derangement because people just don't even understand. They hate he's a billionaire, but if you ask them what the companies he runs are outside of Tesla, they couldn't tell you. If you ask them if they educate, they won't listen, those people, right? So you do realize he grew up in South Africa, dirt poor, with a single parent for most of it. Like, oh, you couldn't even get that sentence out with people, just Elon bad because he's a billionaire. And it's like, yeah, that's a lost conversation at this point for a lot of those people, but it will change. So I think as the car sales probably stagnate over the next 6 months until we get this fully ramp of all these different things that are coming, the Semi, the new Model Y, Model Q, just so many things that we know is coming. And we're always saying this, it's like an inside joke at Tesla, isn't it? This is coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming late, it's coming late. But it is always coming, and it's a bit like the opposite of going bankrupt. How did you go bankrupt? Oh, going to the casino, how did you lose all your money? Slowly and then all at once. Now, I think it's the opposite with Tesla in the sense of all of these things come slowly, 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 and then all at once. There'll be an all at once moment with Tesla in the next 2 years where mega packs are 3x in revenue and a sellout for the next 1, 2, 3 years. They'll be like the NVIDIA chips or the AI movement as energy becomes even more required. As AI hots up, more and more people are going to need energy. Well, Elon's actually got that space, and they're going to need, okay, it's not the grid, but it's going to support that energy flow. It's going to keep data centers safe and power down moments, things that would really screw a business if, data centers just shut down, like AWS or something went down, you'd be like, Jesus. So that's going to be the thing. And then all of these models are going to be fully ramped. So, and they're going to enter new markets. And then I think robo taxis will take a while. I think the beautiful look of the Cybercab is going to accelerate it. I love that they're starting in Austin because it's a liberal city in a Republican state. And I think a lot of people will just enjoy that. It's a very up and coming city. It's a powerhouse city at this point, I guess. And there's a lot of money there, right? There's a lot of money in that city right now. People are going to try it. People are going to use it. But it will take time. It's got to be regulated out. And it's, Elon's been very cautious with it because he knows the first time there's a problem with one of those cars, it's going to be headline news, right? And everybody's going to talk about it. So I just feel like there's so much, as usual, to look forward to. I do sort of think of the narrative in 6 months' time. I think the next 6 months are just going to be tough. We've got a couple of catalysts coming up. Obviously, the June launch, the robo taxis and things is going to be great. New product features will be released alongside it, how you hail a cab, etc., apps or whatever. But the Model Q will be great too. But I think the next 3 to 4 months is going to be, a couple of tough quarters because things aren't fully ramped. Bit of capex expenditure as they get things moving. Margins will shrink, be tough. But I really think by about July, August this year, we'll just start to see I think Tesla could dip under 300 briefly before then. And if it does, I'm buying. Like my cost average is so decent that I'm sort of sitting okay now, but I'll definitely have to you just can't turn down that kind of sale, I don't think. But I think post July, guys, I mean, as we get, and then, boom, semis ramped next year. And already they've got tens of thousands in the pipeline for businesses and stuff. Like it's already there. And then the one thing I wanted to ask you guys about is Tesla entering new markets, not just India. That's going to be a massive slow burn. That's almost like a courtesy sale. But and I don't like this guy, Putin. I do not like Zelensky. I do not like all the BS. I mean, I don't want to get into geopolitics, but I think there's a lot of shit on both sides. But obviously, Putin's done a terrible thing there. But he was even mentioning working with Tesla. And do you know why? Because he's a smart guy, even though he's not a nice guy, obviously. I'm not an advocate, but he understands that the AI race one is the country that will dominate the world. He's on record saying that. And Russia are probably so far behind this AI race, even though they've got brilliant technicians. We haven't seen anything out of that part of the world at all. They're probably going to want Elon's business in purely because they're going to want to get inside and steal some of it, catch up, right? Like probably like steal some of the. I don't know how they do it, but they seem to work out. The Chinese are good at that. The IP stuff. But imagine if Teslas started selling in that part of the world. And forget all the geopolitics, because Russian people are human beings like the rest of us. They're very good people. I've got friends in different parts of the world who are Russian. They're great human beings. It's the government we don't like. Most people don't like. So just forget all of that. Think human beings in Russia with high incomes buying Teslas. Imagine that is just, and they're already talking about reintroducing American companies into Russia. And it's a no-brainer for the American if they do find peace in this war, because Russia don't really export that much to America. They do a bit, vodkas, caviar. There'll be stuff that I don't know about, but they don't manufacture a lot of this stuff and bring it over, like cars and things like that. So, my God, like there's so many areas where Tesla can enter as sales maybe stagnate in Europe because it gets a hard rap in Europe. God knows why. They'll elevate and accelerate in other areas, right? So that's another thing that doesn't really get much talk. Look what's happening in China. It's just kaboomed in the last. It's always been good, but it's kaboomed in the last year. Like people are obsessed with those cars right now, and I don't really see that slowing down. Interesting times, really interesting. But I do think macro geopolitical tough spot for Tesla. If we held the line at the stock price now for the next 6 months, I'd be like, oh my God. Like if we got to July and we were at 350, I'd be like, oh shit, $2,000 is looking a hell of a lot closer. If we got to 200, I think it maybe take a little bit while longer, but my God.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, no. Sheesh. You went off there, but okay, Bob, go ahead, and then we can talk. Yeah.
Hey, thanks. I'm a Canadian American, and
Fellow Canadian.
so left wing, and I got in Tesla when it was the darling of the environmental green movement. Everybody on the left loved him, and that has changed dramatically. And meanwhile, I've got a Model Y launch coming next month. If they don't put tariffs on it, if Trump puts tariffs on, Canada's going to maybe double the price of my car. But that's just my situation. So I'm going to using the money I made in Tesla. But I'm wondering if something were to happen to Elon, if he went on a SpaceX rocket and didn't come back, or if one of his kids gave him measles and he got sick, or something happened to Elon, what is the future of Tesla? Is there a deep enough backbench there to make this? Would you guys stick with Tesla if Elon Musk were no longer the CEO for whatever reason?
So
not now, but later.
Yeah. So what
I would
gotta
like
say.
to take this one.
Sure.
Sorry,
But
Pejjy.
You'll take the second question. Let me go for the first one for the Model Y tariffs, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it'll be tariffed because they'll be coming from China. I don't think.
No, mine comes from California.
Yours gonna come from California?
Yeah, China's already tariffed Canada, so you have to get. My first Tesla came from Fremont, and my next one's coming from Fremont because it's just
boy.
a short drive.
Well, let's hope you get it before April.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to come in March, but so that's and I'm reluctant to get it because people are protesting all over the place, and cars are getting tagged.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's happening. So I got to be realistic. Do I need that aggravation? I love the car. I can't imagine driving anything else, but that's tricky. But my bigger question is Tesla going to be a viable company if Elon gives up as CEO for whatever reason?
Take it.
So, hi, Bob. Thank you.
Hi.
Number one is, I would like to know, are you invest in Tesla also?
Yes, that's what I'm using all this money I made to spend it on a new launch at a very high price, but it's no big deal because I'm hopefully my stocks will pay for it.
So if you a Tesla investor, I recommend you to go back and watch the earning from last year, when the Fed is not lower the interest and Elon very hawkish, but that earning call, he introduced not a handful, it's a lot of people on the stage and say this is a CFO, this is people who manage the supercharging, and this is an AI team. I think Elon is one thing that he's in his strong suit is hire good people. And Tesla have the culture that is not like any corporation. They like a startup in the big scale. Thing in Tesla moving very fast. They don't have middle manager. So if Elon die, if they kill him successfully, Tesla will moving forward just fine. Is it gonna be fast like Elon speed? We can put question mark on it. But people who work at Tesla, they're not there for money. They make a shit ton of money, but they're there to move the world to the forward place. So I will reassure you as a shareholder together, go back and looking at the last year earning call. The one of them is actually like, I think it's about 20 people on the stage up there, and these people are very very good at their job.
Yeah,
Who
Elon.
would make a good CEO
Yeah, no, Elon
to
also said.
replace him?
Yeah, that's always been my question too. That who would be a good CEO? And people are talking about Tom Zhao could be one, maybe Franz could be another one, but I don't know who could really be the CEO. Now, do they have a succession plan behind the curtains? I think they do. I think they do have this because they know this, because they know Elon is a very high key man risk, the probably only key man risk at the moment. So I'm sure there's something behind. But Elon did say this in the two earnings before, saying that if something happened to me, if aliens came and took me tomorrow, the FSD and robotaxi will move as planned. It won't be any backups, but the bot would be. So that's what he said. But in terms of who the CEO would be, who would be his succession, we don't know. And even now, when we look at Tesla, Elon is at the White House every day. Like, he's not even at Tesla or SpaceX or doing any of these things. So the company is running smoothly without him. He's only there to do like the big things, the big decisions, which will speed up the FSD robo taxis and the bot. But if you look at what he's doing now, like, he's not even there, to the point that I'm like, maybe he's not really that needed anymore. And as the years go on, he doesn't need to be. He is not needed as much as the years go on, which is a good thing. But to pick a key man to fulfill his CEO position after he's no longer CEO, or if something happens to him, I don't know who is the right person. I don't know who is the right successor, but I am sure that there is a succession plan for sure behind the curtains, and they already have, a plan for it if something like that happens. That's why I mean that's my thoughts. Now I don't know if anyone else has a thought on this as well.
Well, with the lull there, I find a lot of controversies every day about Tesla, about Elon, about Doge, about Trump, and I find Grok 3 has given me some of the best, most balanced answers to any. It's not left leaning or right leaning. It gives both sides. I find it very helpful to use Grok 3 at this moment. It's very easy to use and great answers for these difficult questions, which I would disagree with almost everybody on your team there on. So anyway.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask Grok too. Who would be Elon's successor?
Grok 3.
Bob, congratulations for your investment that you can cream it up and buy Tesla. That's a very good one.
Yeah, I
And
was hoping it would 10x before I have to spend it, so I got another year or two to go on that. So
10x from what year?
from 2020, 21. From now, actually, I'd like it to 10x.
2021. it's about right now. The price is still right now. It's
I know.
actually the end of 2021. We still 10% down.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
I keep
hold. But you
I
hold it
dollar
all
cost
this time.
average.
Mm-hmm. That's
Mm.
right.
Anyway, I got enough to buy a couple Teslas if I want, but it's still very challenging times. Just the geopolitics is driving me crazy between Ukraine and Israel and Mexico and Canada and Greenland and Panama and England and Germany. Now the right-wing party has come in second place, and Elon has to be involved in everything. Really, is that just? I wish he would.
Rob, I wanted to ask you, as a left-leaning person, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not left or right, to be honest. I'm just a
Really?
human. No, I'm neither. I'm kind of central myself, more of a libertarian these days, to be honest. But I'm quite curious because you're actually quite a good profile for what we were chatting about earlier. So you own Tesla, you understand the value in the company, obviously. You like the product. We all know it's a great product. I mean, they're just beautiful cars, even if you've never sat in one. My brother-in-law drives one. Love going out in it. And yeah, so all of that. But how do you feel, and what's the reaction like on the left side? Just the general people that you come into contact with about Elon. Is it super negative now, or is it?
Super negative. But this is from YouTube. And I watch a lot of the Midas Touch and
Oh yeah, but
a
what
lot
about
of
in real life?
and then I switch over to Fox once in a great while to see what my brother's watching, and they love Elon, and the other side finds him just horrid. And it's a typical left-right division, just like Trump. He's as divisive as Trump is, or any other politicians.
But what
And he
about
didn't
in
need to
real
be.
life? Like
Say
moving
again?
around real life circuits. What about in the real life? Because we're always
They-
going to be extreme end.
Yeah, I understand. Well, real life, that's just my where I live in my little bubble on Vancouver Island. But people are starting to wonder about me buying another Tesla and how can I support that? And they're very anti-American up here right now, and that's a big movement in Canada. I would say just anti-Trump and his machinations, and Elon right in there with it. So I'm a little scared about driving a Tesla around. It's not, it's a peaceful country up here. I'd probably feel worse if I was in some left-wing part of the U.S.
Yeah, I used to live in Canada, mate. It's a great country. Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you. I just was just curious, really, because here it's kind of people don't really talk about him. Like they,
No,
they don't care that much in Britain.
are you in Northern England or something?
I'm in the UK. Yeah, I'm in the
Yeah.
UK.
Well, he
But
got involved with Keir Starmer and all the
yeah, but to be honest with you, that's not going to cost him points because Keir Starmer's approval rating's less than 25%, and he's only been in power 2 months. He's literally campaigned on one thing and done the absolute opposite on about 6 of the issues. Even people who voted for him hate him now. So I don't think that endears people to Elon in the sense that they're like sticking your nose in where it's not asked or whatever. But like it doesn't alienate him because our prime minister is just so disliked and doing such a bad job.
They keep changing him, so you'll get a new one soon.
Yeah, God hope so. Yeah. It's
Germany is very anti-Elon and Musk too. Really, because the whole Nazi fascist kind of vibe that he puts off there and supporting the ultra right wing, that wasn't helpful either. And so in Canada, we're mad at him. In Germany, they're mad at him, and who knows where else.
This is going to be that Trump thing in a few years where he was for years they made you believe that he said something that was leaning that way that he didn't, and then one day somebody remarkably released a clip on it, and it wasn't actually what he was saying at all. It's like these things are just it's just politics. It's just media. Anybody who knows this guy, I mean, how many only 2 tech CEOs have gone to Israel, and he actually went to Auschwitz, which I've been to, and I tell you, you don't go there if you're leaning that way, right? You just don't go. I've been. It's just a heartbreaking place to spend a day. But he was one of 2 tech CEOs who actually went and looked at what had happened in Israel, and the other one was Alex Karp from Palantir. He's Jewish. He's also obviously heavily involved in defense spending contracts with Palantir. That's a big part of their business. But he actually, these people went there. So for me, that's the end of the conversation. Does he do things, Elon, that are clumpy and ill thought out and impulsive on stage? Sometimes is he awkward? Yeah, he's an awkward guy. But you know, what do you expect? The guy's got 64,000 happening in his brain at any given moment. You know, he's downloading at speeds we've never seen before. But people who can't see any of that, who can't step back and see that in general, just have completely lost sight of things. They're bordering on delusion and lost complete common sense. But they're allowed to be annoyed at it. They're allowed to be annoyed at it or whatever. They're allowed to go, that it's not a good look. Yeah, it's not a good look. But like, step back and just look at the sort of 360-degree angle and come to a common sense, rational, deductive reasoning, go back to first principles, all that kind of stuff, really. People don't, you know, and at that point you can't really argue with people like that. I don't even argue with them, but like, you just, you know, but I can understand, Bob. Thank you. I'm going to go off. I don't want to hog the thing, but I was really interested to see how you felt about owning a Tesla, because you are a massive demographic of people who are thinking about buying Teslas, but are literally in North America right now a little bit scared. But as they get scared, people in China are queuing up, and all right, so balances the numbers. Things will change. This is cyclical in terms of geopolitics. So.
Pejjy, I have a question for you.
Give it to me.
So last night I fall asleep, listen to you and Joseph. Ha 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 ha. Can you make that whole hour short for me? What you guys going back and forth? I
Oh,
was
boy.
listening until Joseph say in his real life job he unstuck stuff on the line, but now he see it as Elon get everything ready, get a Cybercab production ready, get a humanoid robot ready, but the thing that is stuck him is it's a lawfare. It's
Yeah.
regulation, and you have to go there to unstuck that. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah.
Where you guys going with that? Can you give me a short clip?
So yeah. So something important that he said in that podcast, and if you guys haven't watched that podcast, it's on YouTube right now. Very good podcast. And Joseph was well, he doesn't want me to say what company he worked for, but it was a very big, massive tech company. You guys can probably take a good guess on that. He was a program manager of that company. And his role was hardware, software, sourcing, production lines, all that kind of stuff. And he is supposed to make sure that whatever products or whatever items or products that they were programming, his job was to unblock whatever the heck that was blocking it, right? Let's say if it was some sort of a obstacle, they have to find a way to unblock it so they can have a breakthrough. And he said that the one thing that they couldn't do it was through laws and regulation, because that's the government. You can't really go around that. And he's saying, in his point, he's saying that, well, Elon knows this, and now he's part of the government. Now he's going after regulation and lawfare, and that's going to be cut down, which pretty much breaks through the things that are blocking or slowing down their progress, which is really interesting for me, because he's saying that Tesla has everything set up. The bots, they're hiring for the bots. They're hiring employees for the bots and everything. And Bohemian said something very interesting. He said that, what's it called? Tesla doesn't showcase their optimism until, and when they do, it's something massive. And Elon did speak of this, saying that, yeah, we don't do it anymore because our competitors steal from us. So we don't do it anymore. We only do it from time to time when we think that it's appropriate. And knowing that, and now we're seeing jobs coming for this, like 70 jobs. I think Sir Basher calculated 70 jobs for the bot alone. We're closer than we think. And now that we have Elon in the government, who could, who the one thing that program managers wish to have less of, which is regulation and lawfare, and Elon is there doing that. That's crazy. Like that was his whole point to that, and saying that with all this coming, his technology not just for Tesla, but for SpaceX, for tunnels, for Neuralink, all that kind of stuff. Everything is going to be pushed forward so quick that it's going to be ridiculous. Now, obviously, it's not biased just towards him. It's regulation for everybody in those fields as well. But who has the most lead is Tesla, and who's going to proceed the most, or go furthest the most? It's going to be Tesla, and all his other companies. So that was his point, and that was interesting. That was one of the and we pretty much also spoke about how it's bullish how Elon is in the Oval Office, because it's crazy because when Biden was in office, Biden is not inviting Tesla or is Elon to the EV summit or AI summit. That's bearish. And now it's like, Elon is with Trump in the Oval Office. That's bearish. So what the heck is bullish then? You know what I mean? Like, right? So I mean, like, you got to put these things together, and yeah, in the short term, right now things look very bad. I know, like Bob was saying, like in Canada, like people are not really happy about this 51st state thing. Actually, the ones with common sense, they don't mind it because how bad Canada has gotten because of Trudeau, and it's just, it sucks what he's done, and I'm glad he's going to be resigned, and I think we're going to get a conservative leader. I know we are, and it's gonna really, really, really hopefully bring down taxes and bring down expenses and stuff like that. But Trudeau really messed it up, and they're really taking aim at Elon because, well, Elon is with Trump, right? So that's why they're like, if you're having a Tesla, we don't support it. And in Europe, it's a Nazi sign because he did a salute, which that wasn't even a Nazi symbol. Anyways, this is all short-term noise, and as an investor who's been in it since 2020, and those who've been there prior, they know more than that. It's just they always go away, and people forget about it. That's it. And I'll leave it with this: if as a Tesla investor, the stock will punish you for being a short-term investor, and it'll reward you for being a long investor. And not in ways of just money and wealth, but in ways of understanding how the world works, because Elon is in everywhere and everything affects him and the stock. So you tend to become numb, and you tend to be aware of what's noise and what's signal. And the more you learn to keep your emotions away and just look at what's going on fundamentally, you're going to do very well in the future. And the best proof of this is just zoom out of the stock, and it's been repeated since IPO till today. 2014 to 2019, if you invested for that long in Tesla, you've lost 20%. Like if you invested for those periods of time until 2020, then you made a 10x, right? Between those 5 years, Tesla almost went bankrupt. Trump at that time wasn't really with Elon. It's funny that the second term now they're friends, but at that time, Trump was bashing Elon and Tesla, and the stock was going down. It was about to go bankrupt, and everything was just very bad that time. And if we think we have it bad now, no way. Back then was much worse. Today, the idea of Tesla going bankrupt does not exist and will not exist, because if Tesla needs to, for some reason to raise money, it's Elon Musk. He can raise money like that. Like, I mean, who does not want to work with Elon Musk? You know what I mean? So the risk right now for Tesla, I just don't see a risk that can really bring down your investment in the next 3-4 years. I just don't see it. It's just maybe the only risk is maybe Elon disappearing, but other than that, it's just even with that, it's like, okay, he disappears. What gets cut out? Nothing gets cut out. Things just get delayed a little bit. That's about it. So really, it's like, what is the real risk here? And what is the short-term noise that's really getting everyone panicked and scared and fearful? For me, I've been in it since 2020, and like I mentioned earlier in the spaces, 2021 to 2022, that was very scary because the stock went from 414 to 101. And I mean, I loved every second of it because I was buying crazy in the 100s. I was really thankful and grateful of that opportunity. And I know Bohemian is as well. But at that time, there was no reason for the stock to go up. Like there was no reason. Like we had the Biden administration attacking Elon and Tesla. We had interest rates going up. We had a war that started, right? We had so much things going down, and there was no catalyst. Like the only catalyst at that time I can remember was Cybertruck, and that was not promised in terms of profitability and margins. So, but now it's completely different. It's the best case scenario. Like it is the best case scenario for Tesla. You have Elon, who is in the Oval Office, who is helping the administration and the country in healing and getting back on its feet and bringing back common sense, reducing government and bureaucracy, something that all governments should do all around the world. And at the same time, you have all this catalyst coming for Tesla. FSD, unsupervised FSD happening in June, Cybercab coming out, then you have the affordable models coming out, and Megapack Shanghai, and then the third factory. It's just endless. This is the time. Like stock is down 30%. Man, I love it. I'm buying almost every day, which is insane. So we are in a much better place than many think. It just is a lot of emotions out there right now. Unfortunately, that's really, like it's funny. I'll say this. 2022, 2023, everybody was saying Elon should not be CEO anymore. Like they were saying that he should leave. They're saying the same thing right now, by the way, too, because of what's going on. But the same thing was happening when Tesla stock reached at an all-time high of 490 or went above 400. Nobody was complaining. Everybody was happy that, yeah, Elon is with the president. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Now it's going down. That same story is now bad. Like this is how you know it's noise. And that's how when you sit down and think about it and you look at it in these perspectives, you just realize it's just emotions. And you know what emotions do when it comes to investments. It really wrecks it. So that's all I have to say about that. So yeah, bring on the dips.
Jamie, go ahead, and then I'm gonna wrap up.
Well, I'd like to leave you with this. Full disclosure, I voted blue for as long as I can remember. And, it is possible for someone on the far left to convert because I'm living proof. My kids right now aren't speaking to me, my coworkers, my friends. A lot of people are not speaking to me right now. They're extremely upset. I think maybe 3 months, 6 months from now, they'll be calm enough where I can kind of explain things. I've tried explaining things, but it's not being received well. But point being is, if I can flip, so can others. So don't give up on sending the message and educating people, because common sense does prevail in the end.
I hope so.
This is what the left lost. The left will turn away friendships because somebody's got a different political view to them. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't care if anybody on this panel voted left, right, or centre, or Green Party, or whatever. I just wanted to add that. You're all human beings. You have a right to vote for who you want to because you're citizens of that country. I'm sure you have good reasons either way. Ridiculous.
There's a meme out there, the funniest meme. Some guy said a funny joke to a kid, and the kid looks at him and doesn't laugh and says, "I'm offended," even though the joke wasn't offensive. Like that's where the left has gotten to, and we need to stop that. Like, like take me back to Family Guy back in like 2005, where you just made a whole bunch of jokes and everybody was just laughing and having fun. Now you can't make those jokes anymore. Well, I mean, now I guess slowly you can, but in the Democrats before, you couldn't make those jokes anymore because then it's like it's offensive, it's bad. It's come on, man. Like we're trying to have a good time here. We're just trying to, like chill. But
yes, make Blazing Saddles great again.
Yeah, exactly.
this is what happened here. I'm gonna wrap up with this. So I sell the Thai spice, and my name is Fa. So we name it Fucking Bomb, and I print out a sign that say Fucking Bomb. Put it on everything is Fucking Bomb.
Yeah.
And at a restaurant that they kind enough to let me sell my spice there, some Karen fucking complain about it because her kid keep reading the sign over and over. It's fucking bomb. It's fucking bomb. It's fucking bomb. So she complained about it, and they have to take the sign off. So this is what we have with Elon sending salute. He tapped his chest, said, "My heart go out to you. Thank you for voting to Mecca." And all the dumb fuck say, "Oh, that's a Nazi salute." I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you not have a capable to understand the whole thing or go listen to the whole thing and translate message to your brain by yourself. I'm sorry that you have to grab what the propaganda say and run with it. I'm sorry. But everybody is right here. Investment should be far away from your emotion. That's how you're gonna be successful. That's all I left it here. And if you guys love me, go order my fucking bomb. All right. Love you all. Thank you for everybody precious time to spend with me today. Thank you to all the speaker. Thank you to all the listener. And next Saturday will be another one of the Tesla recap with Pejjy. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Let's go. All right, I think we're done. All righty. We are finished. Woof. Wow. Oh man, that's a lot to talk about. That is a lot to talk about, and it's almost midnight where I am, and the chat was actually live today, even though I mean from both sides, good side, bad side. Sheesh. Anyways, guys, I gotta get to bed because I gotta go to work early tomorrow and film a video. I'll have time to film a video. Yes, and smash that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, guys. I love you all. Whether you guys hate Tesla or not hate Tesla, hate Elon or not hate Elon. Again, I'm pro free speech, so you can say whatever the heck you want. I haven't blocked anybody on any platform, which is quite funny. Well, the first thing is that people on the internet don't offend me. That's one thing. So, anyways, Lee, we didn't talk much about the business. It was in and out. We did talk about Doge and stuff like that. We did go in and out, but nonetheless, that's what spaces are. They go in and out about it. They get steered away, then you're gonna pull it back. Then it talks about it's spaces. Gonna love it. Anyways, I love you all so much. Make sure again you guys smash that like button, hit subscribe and already, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Love y'all. See ya. Let's go. Sheesh.